All right, so let's talk about building the winning team from a design perspective. So the key professionals involved with that are designers, architects, and engineers. And maybe there are decorators as well, and actually colorists maybe we've used before too, which have the specific skill set of pulling out and making sure kind of the colors mesh. Now there's particular weaknesses and strengths for designers, engineers, architects, just like with general contractors. And from our point of view, it is better to find the person that you trust to actually build the project, because that is where the metal meets the road, if you will, or the rubber meets the road, if you will. So that enables you to actually take what has been designed or drawn and make it happen in real life. And so the things that we've seen with particular designers and architects, and then some people that actually call themselves designers but are maybe more just decorators, like picking finishes more so than understanding more of the principles behind actually building it and the relationships with vendors. The general contractor that you trust to build the project is going to have all these people in their Rolodex and be able to go to them, and actually is going to be able to maybe have a couple different people that they can select from after getting an understanding of your project at the beginning. So we like to say, start the design and pre-contract process with somebody that's going to build it at the table at the beginning. And if you are getting with an architect or a designer, and that architect and designer isn't encouraging you to bring that builder to the table, maybe be a little bit suspect of the product that they're going to provide to you. Because in a sense, they get paid no matter what they design or no matter what they draw for you. They're actually not held accountable for actually what it costs to build that particular product. Especially with the design build firm, if there's not trust established in their capacities and their ability to execute this. We have particularly recently went and did some consultation services for a client here in Moore County that had paid in excess of $50,000 for a design packet with a prescribed budget of $500,000. When I initially reviewed the plans, they were substantial. They were probably 25, 30 pages, maybe actually close to the 50-page mark of different things. A really big packet and thorough. But when the client started to actually find out that this particular firm had strength in design and not so much strength in the build process, and didn't actually want them to build it for them, like the designs, they brought us in. We looked at them and estimated it to be about a $1 to $1.2 million build, due to the fact that it was designed with a lot of glass on the exterior, would require some structural steel, would require an $8,000 engineering retainer to actually size that, let alone put the concrete in the ground to take the shear loading of the new building at now 2 stories. And the homeowner and the client was just very shocked when we said that final budget. And other sales reps in town and other vendors had stopped working with this particular firm because they were suspect of the way that they were doing their engineering. And so there is some ability for a general contractor to kind of get the engineering taken care of with the lumber reps and sourcing and sizing stuff appropriately based on that, using that documentation with the inspection department. And then there's some discretion to say, no, it's a little bit more complex. We need to bring an engineer involved. The general contractor that you want to hire and to do that's going to understand those dynamics is going to be keeping that in focus throughout the design phase and able to kind of deliver a final plan to you that's buildable within your budget. And that's why we would like to say to get them at the table first, and why we actually handle most of the drawings in a typical situation ourselves. We will use 3D scans and generate actual 3D models of the different rooms, stitch them together, create a comprehensive plan, enables us to get better takeoffs as far as how much square footage of flooring, and actually generate specific views for our plumber or electrician to show the spacing of the vanity and just different things. It just really helps us with the communication process. Once we get to the build phase, an architect is a little bit more protective of their drawings because they get paid for revisions, which is understandable. And sometimes they have a better eye than maybe a general contractor would to create this visual final product that's superior. The decorators, the designers can bring these colors to bear. They can have relationships with vendors. They can actually also be a huge asset as a project management arm as well, with laying out light fixtures, with making sure the right products are on site before the trade partners show up. Either way, the contractor that you want to hire has all those people at their disposal and ready to wrap that up as in a comprehensive pre-contract and planning phase for you, versus having that piecemealed out and trying to assemble the plan yourself together at a design that becomes cost prohibitive to execute.